boys and girls, mums and dads. Here we have Motorific. Motorific was made by Ideal, an American toy company, between 1964 and sometime in the early 70s. It was a very simple slot car arrangement. There was no power to the track. The track were just plastic pieces that just simply joined together using these little lugs. So it was very simple for children to work with. There was no electric or power in the track. And the track was interchangeable and you could sort of make it in any shape. It came in various sets. Motorific, did Highway-rific, Racer-rific. There were several different sets, and the cars could be bought individually. The motors and components could be bought individually. And even here's a pack with some straight track in. It's never been opened. And if you look at a lot of these pieces, it actually says on this piece of track was made in 1965. Some of it was made in 1964. That's again 1965. There was various aspects to this. You'll see these little signs. So there was bits of the road where there was bumps. There was bits of the road where there was sort of wiggly bits in it. That supposedly was to test the steering of the car. This bit was actually a crash test. I think there's one you can see there, crash test. And the idea of this was that the car would these little components here had elastic bands in to hold them in place, and a car would drive through it, crash through the brick wall. So great fun for the children. Now, the reason I have the Motorific is that when I was a child, another boy at school, this is when we were in primary school, so this is before the age of 10 or 11, a boy in school, his name was Peter Ferrugia. Goodness knows where he is now or what he's doing, but I hope he's well and in good spirits. Peter Ferrugia had a dad who went away to sea, and I don't know what he did at sea, but Peter took me to his house, and there in the living room on the carpet was this incredible Motorific set. Oh,
nice. Much easier.
So there on the carpet was this incredible Motorific set, and all the cars were racing around and everything, and it left a lasting impression on me. So sometime around 2008 to 2010, I decided to look on eBay and see if I could get some, and I managed to collect all this Motorific. If I stand back, you see there's quite a lot of it, and a lot of components here. And I got it reasonably priced on eBay. The track is plentiful. It's easy to get. It's not expensive, and there's lots of it about on eBay. The cars, not so much, and the cars come in various conditions. So we say, here's an example of one. The front's missing off it, a tyre missing off it. I managed to pick a few decent ones out on eBay. Nice Ford Thunderbird there that's complete. And the way these cars come, they come with the chassis is universal. So the chassis is the same on all the cars. And you just put two AA batteries in. There's a little motor in the back. You switch them on and then send them racing around the car. And I've just managed to break a little piece off this vintage 60-year-old toy. Never mind. Anyway, so the thing is, you put the batteries in, switch them on, put them on the track, and off they go on their own. Quite simple, quite easy to use, and a lot of fun. They created, as a toy, it was quite a nice visual spectacle to see these cars just going round. And of course, one of the things I enjoyed about them was I'm not over keen on racing. I prefer road cars. And of course, we see here a selection of road cars, a Mercedes, I'm not sure what sort of car this is, this police car, Pontiac or Oldsmobile or something, I don't know. There's a Ford Thunderbird, I know that one. And there's pickup trucks. And there was also a lot of trucks and things. So there was a good variation of vehicles of the time. And as you can see by the styling of this station wagon, they depict cars, American cars of the 96 and European cars, because I know that they did E-Type Jags and what have you. So a beautiful toy, all in all. So I decided what I'd do is, because obviously, as you will know from the first video, I'll be building a model railway. So I thought, the Motorific, I'll just have to show it one time and then put it away, because this will be a one-trick pony getting this Motorific out. It's unlikely to ever come out again. Quite what I'll do with it, I don't know. However, sadly, I put all the track out and then got these cars out, which I've never really used them, because I ordered them on eBay at the time. When I ordered them, you know, I couldn't actually use them. Anyway, much to my disappointment, not a single car is working. With some of the components inside them are quite corroded. The motors look intact, but sadly they're not. Even though I've put brand new Duracell batteries in, I'll look at them closer later. I put brand new Duracells in, and not a single one of there's 7 cars here with 7 motors in, and not a single one of them. I did get a slight flicker out of one, and then it stopped again. So they're not particularly complicated. I think they'll be pretty easy to fix. It's whether I want to devote the time to them. I've got a train set to a model railway to build, so I don't know. I certainly am unlikely to get this track out again. What I'll do is, I'll probably look at these cars. I'll leave the track out tonight and have a look at the cars in the morning. See if I can get any of them running, so as we can just have a quick look. It'll be a terrible shame if I didn't, because I went to the trouble of trying to show it to you. But we'll see if I can get any cars going in the morning. But like I say, I'm not prepared to give too much time to them. It's another collectible toy of the 60s. I think it's quite a nice toy. It's not where I'm going with the hobby right now. So it's open-ended as to what I'll do with this. I have to say, I still think as a toy, it's a very attractive looking toy. And I think if they were to create this, if they were to market this again today, I think that young boys and girls would just love this toy. It's and I'm sure with modern production techniques, they could make Motorific even better. I think it's a toy that's probably crying to be reissued. But I guess, you know, with toys, as I've seen with my own grandchildren, they seem to prefer screens and games, video games and things. So physical toys, perhaps not as... Is it worth the development costs to create these? I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave it there for now. I'll try and see if I can take a close look at these cars, see if I can get any life out of them. And if not, I'll put them away for another time, see if perhaps I revisit them in the future. But there we are. Enjoy the enjoy the static spectacle of the American toy of the 60s, Ideals Motorific. Okay, we're going to take a look at this little Motorific station wagon now and see if we can get it running. As I said earlier in the video, all these Motorific cars have a universal generic chassis. It's the same for all of them, unless it's a truck or a heavy goods vehicle of some sort, and they have a different chassis on, which I and they have different wheels also. And I think I have one of those, but we'll look at that another time. So anyway, these bodies just clip off. They seem to be clip on at the side mostly. So you just prise the sides apart and the chassis comes out. Okay, and let's take a look. And here we can see the simple arrangement. The motor just clips in the back here, and it comes out quite easy. Just clips in. And these motors were available to buy independently, separately. Now, one of the things I've noticed, that these cars are very old. They've been in a loft or a garage space in the States for decades before I bought them. And what we can see if we look at them, all the metal that conducts electricity, it's all quite tarnished. So that doesn't help with the conductivity of the power from the batteries to the motor. But anyway, what we'll do, the motor, by the way, is color-coded. So where it's painted green and orange, that goes up, and the unpainted side goes down. Simply clicks into the back here. And another interesting feature of these, if I just get something to point with, is that you'll see that the two contacts for the motor to make the motor run, one of them, interestingly, one of them touches the contact on this side here, and then it doesn't for the other contact. The connection to make up the circuit is generated through the motor body. Because if I can just take this off again, and I'll explain. So let's put some batteries in so it looks a little bit more, so it's a little bit easier to explain. So what we're looking at here is that we've got these two batteries, and we've got the positive and the negative. There we go. And so the power, let's just suppose the power is running around this way, goes into here. The little switch, which is just a little metal contact, goes across there, down there. Now the motor, one terminal on the motor picks up power from here, from this edge here, and the other terminal on the motor actually comes through the power through this metal plate here, actually into the motor body. And so that's how the connection is made. And here, I don't know if you can see this on the camera. Can you see there's a little solder connection there on the motor, connecting it to this bush here? So let's put that in, and I'll just switch off first. Now I've got a feeling this car might work. So the simple switch arrangements on the bottom, I'll just flick that over. I'm afraid my fat fingers, the child's fingers would be better. Now we should have a connection, but it's possibly loose. Oh, there you go. Just need to press down. Now then, I hope you can hear me over that screaming. That's the motor. You see, it's gone quieter now. That's a bit of lubrication. That's just the gears grinding, making that howling sound. It makes a lot of noise for such a little toy. I'll just switch that off for a moment. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put the body back on, and one of the features before I put the body back on, what I'll do is, I know that these cars, the metal bits seems to suffer from a little bit of tarnish, so I'll just polish these areas here. All right, need some magnifying glasses. So, where was I? Right, I'll just polish these here. I don't know if you can see it, just making that a little bit shiny. Hopefully that'll give a better connection. Let's see. There you go. Now you see, that's a better connection. Decades of tarnish on the metal connectors there was reducing the flow of electricity from the batteries. So I'll just try to... it does make quite a noise. What I'll do, let's try and get this on the track and see can we get it going. The thing about these cars, they are very simple in their construction, and they would, if you wanted to give them the time and you could fabricate some little parts for them, you could bring these cars back to full life. Good examples, as I think I mentioned before, are quite hard to come by. Most of them are pretty play worn. This one, for instance, is missing a door handle. It's quite badly scratched. The white wall tyre is quite wobbly. And although it looks like it has some type of steering, I don't think it works at all. So anyway, let's get this on the track, and I'll move the camera and see if we can get a bit of a display out of it and see what happens. Okay, let's go to the track. Okay, so let's see if we can get this car going. You'll have to forgive me holding the camera with one hand and trying to switch the car on with the other. There we go. Oh, that makes a noise. Right, let's see how we do. As you see, there's a little pin in the front there. Oh, and there we go. Okay, so that seems to go quite well. So let's clear this other track, make sure there's no cars. The rest of the track looks clear. We'll try it on the big track now, see how we get on there. So you have to forgive me the way I'm moving the camera, but I'm holding it in one hand. Right, let's see where she goes. Off she goes, up. Oh, we've got a blockage there. I'll just pause the camera. Start again. There we go. And there, can we see that wheel spin? Just give it a slight nudge. And another bit of wheel spin. The tyre isn't in contact with the road. Oh, we're going the other way now. Apologies for the shaky video. There you go, and it's stuck again. I'll just pause again. And then what we can see is that there's not enough tread on the tyre to bite. So I'll give it a bit of a shove up the hill. I don't know if it's going to make that one. There you go. It's stuck again. Pause again. Right, let's give it a little help. There she goes. More wheel spin. Oh. Do the crash test, but unfortunately couldn't make the ramp. So anyway, you get the idea. So the problem is that the tires are well perished on these cars, and they don't have sufficient grip or traction on the track. So I'm not sure that we'll get any of the other cars going today. I'll take a look at them off camera and see if I can flash up any others. This toy in its day, and I can tell you from personal experience as a child, it was a spectacular toy to watch, especially when there was multiple cars going along. And as you see, the track with all its twists and turns makes for quite interesting play. This bit here apparently is to test the steering. There's another piece there. And this was a jump test. And as you see, the car didn't manage very well with that jump test. And there's another bit of wiggly track, as it were, to test the steering. So a great toy in its day. Sadly, the cars are a bit worn out now, and they're not going to do anything. So I'm hoping that I'll have another look. That's a truck that's got a motor in. It's got a piece missing off the steering, so that needs a repair as well. So I'll take another little look before I pack all this away, because as I said earlier in the video, this track is unlikely to ever come out again, I suspect, because once the model railway is put into place, that'll be it. So we'll pause for now and see where we end up in the next few minutes.